get into it?
Let's go.
All righty. Well, welcome back to the RDN Roller Show. We have a blizzard here in Colorado, so I had the day off. Me and Ant decided let's hop on the pod and do kind of a little special edition pod since I know a lot of people have seen those Labeda Pink Wheels. I think they're officially called the Labeda Whips. So figure we'll talk about that. We have an interview already banked up with Rob Chornomud that he's kind of going to go over those and describe the tech behind that, and even like talks about the chassis that you guys have seen. So before we get into that though, let's talk to the crippled kid over there. Yo, what happened the other night?
Wife ain't happy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no shit. Beer game at like 10 o'clock and you break your pinky in half?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I got boarded from behind. I'm going to call, and the video is pretty bad. The guy like slew footboards me. And then as I was falling, my hand like was along the ice and just jammed right in the boards, and I dislocated my pinky. The doctor said it was like pretty much as close to a break as it can get without breaking. So yeah, not a good week for me. So taped up.
And this is the rec league that like it's this rec league's like the rec league that's been going on since like September, right?
Yes. So I love the dude who runs our league, but we've literally
played like that's the longest rec league season ever.
It's crazy.
Like 2 of them.
Yeah, we played 28 regular season games with it. I think there's 8 teams in the league for ice. And
that's more than PIHA.
And then yeah, it's like playing an NHL season without getting paid. It's wild. So we're still playing now. We're in the championship. I got hurt in the semis, so now I'm out. So I'm pretty pissed, honestly. But we'll see how it goes. There's a bunch of it was just a rough game. The ref made like all these crazy bad calls, and then it would have been the game that I got hurt in. So now I'm out 4 weeks. Hopefully I can play Winter Wars. I don't know. It's a month away. Since it was a dislocation, I might get away with it, but we'll see. I'm probably out.
Yeah, dude. Rewatching that video, that dude just like I feel like beelined it to the blue line straight at you when you were going. And I don't know, it's a beer league game. I get it, it's playoffs, but it like you don't really need to like run someone at that angle. You know what I mean? Like that was a pretty bad hit for a beer league game at 10 p.m. at night. Like
dude, one of the guys on his one of the guys on his team. I know a bunch of guys on the team. One of the dudes is like, I would just go for the puck there. He's like, I would never make a play like that. But I know the kid, and I know he felt bad. So obviously he didn't mean to do it. But he boarded me pretty good. And then broke my finger, dislocated my finger.
Did he say anything after when it happened? Like,
he came off the rink with me, sat in the locker room with me while I was trying to get my gear off. He was like,
he tug you on or what?
Nah, I didn't tug me one, but he got a 10 and he like sat in there like probably 5 minutes of his 10 after that. And shout out to a couple guys on my team though. One dude made me like a splint out of like cardboard, and he's like an EMT or something. So he hooked me up until I got there. Then I get to the hospital. I didn't tell you this yet. I get to the hospital. I forget my insurance card in my car. So I go back out to get it while I'm checking in. This car comes flying in like 25 and like, like the emergency thing, and it almost hits me. So I'm like, oh, dude, just fucking end it now. Like I was over it at that point. Damn, so I'm like in triage, and then someone gets rushed in for like some crazy reason. So then I sat there and waited like 2. It was horrible. It was bad.
So when I went to the hospital, remember my eye when I got hit with the puck? My eye like just was not there.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the hospital, and I remember like a couple people came in and everything, and it was like this one dude walked in with his fucking pinky in a cup, and he's like, they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to wait. I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm pretty sure my eye might be gone if I wait any longer. Can we like figure this out?
Yeah, he kept the pinky in a cup. It should be good. Put on some ice, you're good.
Yeah, so
dude, my god,
they take us back into this room, and they kind of like just checking us in really, and then they're gonna take us to the just different rooms to sit in. They take us in the back. This guy's just fucking. I'm like, he's like right across from me, and they're just kind of like checking me out, my eyes and stuff, and I'm like, dude, my eyes fucked. But yeah, it was hospital. It's just never a good time, especially after
eye injuries are scary too. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because your eye usually fills up with blood, and you feel like you're blind, but it just fills like everything behiing your eye, so you can't see. So it's scary as shit. I got hit in the eye. It was brutal.
Yeah, but shit's weak, man. So a couple big news going on. This past week that has dropped. One thing, the website is back. The rollerdadnews.org is back. So check it out. We've added events. news articles, and we're sending out the newsletter every week too. So if you are not subscribed to that newsletter, then definitely send us a DM. We'll get you subscribed. We usually post it every week too. So,
Yep.
but one of the biggest things that came out this week is the PAMA Pro qualifier, which is pretty cool. We're going to talk about PIHA and everything too. But do you want to get into the PAMA Pro qualifier? Kind of like talk about what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. So I actually talked to Tim. We were
Oh,
talking about,
big shot over here. This guy's like
yeah. Now
got on
I'm
the
just
phone with
saying,
Tim.
I was saying I talked to Tim because we're getting the still mad at our rank, which is big news for us. But he was telling me a little bit about it. Basically, two pools of teams who want to qualify, 8 total teams, top 2 teams from each one. Basically, going to be the ones that go to get in the Palmer Pro, or top 2 teams, one from each bracket going to Palmer Pro. So, and they'll fill those last 2 spots.
The top 2 teams receive a play into the sports top pro division. The remaining teams will play out in their own tier 2 pro bracket towards their own championship and money prize. So which is pretty cool because I think some people, and I was talking to the boys about, is some people thought you're just going to go out there for Thursday, and if you don't win, you go home. Like you
Yeah, that would
stay.
have been tough.
Yeah, but you stay and you play in your other division, in the tier 2 division, which is pretty cool.
So cool. Yeah.
And yeah, so that is a huge news, which is really cool too. I think a lot of people, and we've always talked about it on the podcast. I think we bring it up weekly, like how can there be teams that can get into the Palma Pro? And I think this is a perfect way because sometimes you can't make 2 trips during the summer. Sometimes like back to back, if you have like a tournament in June, and then you have to, you don't even know if you're going to get in. So then you have to buy your tickets a month later, and sometimes it's just too hard. So this is perfect. It's kind of like a juggernaut Iron Man kind of thing in one day. Best of the best, and then you move into the top pro division. One really good thing about that is you guys are dialed in, so that's going to be huge for a lot of teams. Hey, you've just played 3 games. You got a chip on your shoulder. You're confident, so that's huge. So I think that's a pretty cool add-in.
Yeah, so you literally took the words out of my mouth. Like you're going to get a little bit of a head start. Now, will it play a
Pod
factor?
sponsored by Coors Light.
Coors Light, taste the mountains, right? But you get that pre-qualifier in there, so you're going to be buzzing a little bit. And then it's going to be interesting to see if that affects those teams playing another tournament basically after, right, and go in the long run in the Palmer Pro Division. But, even think about like the snipers who don't play year round, like they probably would love something like that, right? Like having a little pre-qualifier tournament because they don't play in every tournament. They're all scattered on other teams. So it should allow for some team chemistry and to kind of get.
What do you mean the snipers?
Going.
They don't. What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying like the snipers like don't play as a team in every tournament, right? So it would have been cool if they had something like that. Like imagine if they got to play 3 games before Palma Pro started, how much better like they could be and the chemistry could be. All those ice guys who are only playing Palma and stuff.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense though. But yeah, I think the one really cool thing is just gives teams a chance, and you're not going out there for any nothing. You're going to be able to stay there, play towards tier 2 pro championship, which is really cool. I know Tours used to do that a ton. Used to do tier 1 and tier 2. I think we did went to Detroit and went to Texas, I think 1 year, and did both of those. I mean, we did tier 2 because we were like 18s, I think. So that was pretty cool. We put the RB selects, Ronnie B selects. It was like some Lindenwood guys and Colorado guys, Elliot Linton. So yeah, it was pretty good.
We did the same thing in here when they did Tours Nationals in Philly, just like it was a random groups of guys that came together. And George wound up coaching us, and we won. And then we wound up being like a junior plat team for a little bit, like as the excitement. So pretty cool.
Alrighty. So this weekend, there's a couple tournaments going on. One big kind of tournament that we're going to talk about, which is really cool, and did like a little news blog about it and got some, talk to some of the players that are playing in it. So that's going to be dropping tonight, or I guess Thursday. So you've probably already seen it if you're listening to this. But this week over on the East Coast by Ant, you got Winter Wars East at Marple Sports in PA. On the West Coast, Narch Regional in Corona. So that's always a huge one. Any Narch Regional, and I mean anywhere is huge, but specifically in California, those 2 spots is a very big place, Irvine and Corona. And then one that we are going to talk about is the Coupe De France, which is this weekend in Paris, France. Gonna get this messed up, but it's the Halle George Carpentier. That's the arena. That was
Pretty good French there.
Jesus
That
Christ,
was
I'm so
good.
good at French.
It's probably like
Bonjour,
high
bonjour,
George
oui.
Carpentier. Yeah. Bonjour.
Unbelievable. Jesus Christ, I'm so good. Okay, so let's get into PIHA, I guess. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, listen.
like, well,
Sometimes
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
Somebody else is coming in.
I'll take this one. Yeah, sometimes it
Yeah.
happens, man.
Fuck.
Listen, we're both passionate, right? You're especially passionate on the rink. And yeah,
Nico didn't even play me. What are you talking about? I just had to say that. Whatever. I don't care. He doesn't listen to the pod. Like, I don't even want to get into that. But yeah,
I was hoping to see 2-9 out there. You know what I mean,
dude,
like
2-2
net
and
front present.
I'm not even going to talk about Big O's playing.
Yeah. Anyway, but listen, we got Roller Down News, you know, and we're here. We got to talk about it. You know, everybody's talking about it. But yeah, so three divisions played out there, right? So there was pro, semi-pro, minor. Actually, I'll say this.
I thought timeout for a second when the minor division was entered. I thought minor division was like 17 and 18 and under.
No, I think it's basically just a tier 2 pro, semi-pro. It's like
okay, that makes
semi-pro. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, because we have minor out here, and it's pretty big.
But you guys have a bigger,
huge selection. Yeah, but it's pretty big out here. Yeah, it makes up a lot of the teams out here is the minor and semi-pro, right? So we only have like 4 teams in the pro or 5 teams, whatever it was this year. So it was pretty big. I'll say this: you talk about it all the time. Like people coming to show up and watch that final, like at that arena, dude, it was packed there on that Friday night. Like it really was
packed there with the Sting fans that absolutely hate us too. So they're, you know, it is cool because that arena does get packed and it's a lot of, you know, just different people. You know, we have a lot of fans there, but it's always funny.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always like thought is funny is like the Thunder, like the Colorado Springs Thunder hate us, hate the Demon Dogs. And I get it. We used to have a rivalry. So they're like rooting for the Sting, and I'm like they need it, like, you know. But yeah, I don't know, it's just funny.
You guys really weren't at a home rink advantage then, huh?
No, like, dude, we'll get into it. Keep talking.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like it was. I'll like give PIHA credit; they do a good job at putting on an event there. Like the streams were great from the what was it, the Roller Planet,
Roller Planet TV on YouTube.
I heard they had like a TV crew out there, like in like a trailer, like doing the highlights and cut plays and stuff like that. So
there's like a van, an Astro van, but
whatever. Yeah, a little rape van, but whatever, Dahmer van. But yeah, it was cool. Like it, you know, they always put on a good event for the finals, and I watched, you know, pretty much the whole weekend. So it was awesome that I was like, oh, I get to watch roller this weekend, you know. So it was like entertaining. Made me think about like, this would be great if this was like every other weekend or twice a month where you got to watch like, you know, a tournament series kind of like that, you know, like where you get to actually watch it streamed and like, you know, pay attention to it, you know?
Yeah. One thing that what I think is really cool, you know, we've been to, I guess, 3 finals in a row now. And one thing that PIHA does really cool is that you know, getting to leave your gear there, you know, for pro, we play 7 games, a 7-game series. So it's, you know, you get to leave your gear there, which is nice. You know, you play Friday, Saturday, cool. Sunday, unless you get swept. But so then you, which is nice. You get designated locker rooms. You know, locker rooms aren't always, you know, I will say the semi-pro, like the regular locker rooms are unbelievable nice at that rink. They got each stalls, TVs, everything really nice, but they put us in a different area, which is bigger, which is nice, you know, because you do have a lot more room. But it is nice. They do definitely treat you very well. They do a nice presentation like you're talking about. So,
sure.
But yeah, and you know, East Coast, they swept, you know, minors, semi-pros and pros. They took everything home this year.
The Trash Pandas were the minor team. They're a team from like Central Jersey, some New York guys, I think, as well. My rink team here, the Deuces, they took the semi-pro, so I was pretty pumped for them. We had the game on at the rink that day, which was cool. Like we have our Sunday league, and we like streamed the game downstairs, which is pretty cool. And then the Sting, you know, took the pro division once again, like 9 times. So
it's yeah. So I mean, we can talk about. I mean, we're in the pro. I was there, so we can kind of talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
I will say game, and I do want to talk to like Miro and get them on. It was obviously it's kind of hard turnaround. So, but we are definitely going to get Miro on to talk. I think we're gonna get Crafty and Miro just talk black ice stuff, but we'll
Yeah.
definitely talk about that championship run. So, game 1 and 2, I mean, they just came out hot. There's nothing more to it. They came out hot, and it's just kind of looked like we just rolled into town. To be honest with you, didn't adjust what and nothing. So we definitely got our teeth kicked in that first game. And it's not something I think we were expecting at all. Obviously, they have a different team from last year, and that's something that we already knew. But everyone, we don't play that high of competition like that out here. So like
Right.
when we do, it's fat. It's a lot. It's a different game, and
Huge adjustment. Huge
a
adjustment.
huge adjustment. It's a big rink. They can skate. They love that. There's a lot of factors that you could, you really, can go into it. Day two, that first game, that game 3, we go
Sick
up.
game.
Yeah, we went up 2-0. It's not like we thought we had them at all. It was still a great game going, but both people are getting calls both ways, and unfortunately they got the better of those calls and they capitalized on it, and
Yeah.
they ended up taking that game 3, which was a heartbreaker. I think Max Halverson scored the game winner right as the time expired. And
Yeah, like
it's
0.1 second left.
yeah, and something like that, like the one thing why I like, obviously I'm on the losing side, so obviously I'm gonna say something, but the refs really didn't like look into it. It was like, oh, we
I
already
noticed
made the
that.
call, and it's like I get it, but like at the same time, you probably want to talk it over a little bit, maybe review
I
it.
was
But
I was wondering if there was gonna
it
be like
is
replay, like how
nah.
State Woods
It was
has
like it
replay.
was quick, but with those, any smart team knows sell and get off the rink. That's
Yeah.
what you do. You know what I mean? Just so it's over. And is what it is. Game 4, same thing came out. I think we went up again. And then just ended up you know, it was just unfortunate events. Obviously there's a lot more things I wish I could say that I'm not just gonna like
Yeah.
obviously say on here.
I
But
mean,
yeah, the Sting came. All right, all respect to them. They won that they won it. We lost. We won last year. They took it home this year. I guess we're one
yeah,
and
it's
one. So hopefully we get to
50-50
play him.
split.
Yeah, hopefully we get to play him next year at their home, in on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sting came loaded with the team all year. They're great. They showed up to every single game and smack teams around. I know you guys took them, in
Yeah.
that game 3. So are
I
those
was gonna
3 games?
say I'm right there with you losing to them. So
Yeah,
it's
but
but but
they great team, great coach all
yeah.
around, great goaltender and everything. It's not like we didn't. I think everybody from head to toe showed up from our team, and battled, especially that day 2. Day 1 was a little different, but
I
yeah.
was talking to Flynn too, who helps run PIHA on the East Coast. So
Winner,
and he said I mean his direct quote to me was if they would have played like they did on game 1, it would have been, 6, 7, whatever it was, games, right? If you would have played like you did on day 2 on day 1. It was just one
yeah,
of those things, like you said, you guys kind of came out flat and they'll take advantage of it. I've been there. Like I've
yeah,
been there this year, and like in our regular season, we played them in our last set, and we came out flat, and they put like four up on us. I can't talk pretty quickly, and then and then there was games where their battles, like your game 3 was, right, where it was back and forth, back and forth. Last shot's going to win the game, and sometimes that's how it goes. That's kind of how our semifinal game 3 was against them. Last shot won the game. So
yeah.
but yeah, they're a good team. I mean, you got to pay respect where respect is due, and all the series were pretty good. Like even watching some of those minors guy gets fired up.
Yeah.
Those Trash Panda guys, they were fired
Yeah.
up.
No, it's those, and it's sick,
They get wild out there.
Yeah, they
but,
do. I mean, you're winning. Anytime you win
Yeah.
anything, you're gonna get fired up. So it is sick.
So yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, again, overall good event. Obviously it sucks that, sucks being on that side of it sometimes, but still it's like, it's good to see.
You got to bite your tongue, move the fuck
Yeah.
on, and you know what? There's gonna be another game. You got to wake up tomorrow and do it over again.
Let it
And
sit for 24 hours, and you got to move on.
Yeah. So, So,
Yeah.
anyways, let's move on to Coupe de France now. That's something that I think that is super cool. That like we were just talking about. That I'm gonna be blogs already out about that you guys can check out. But the Coupe de France, for people that kind of like don't know, is it's put on by the France Federation, that kind of runs like, their hockey and all sports. But it's not like it has to do with the Ligue Elite, the N1 and the N2 leagues. But it starts with 32 teams, I believe, and then it's like a big bracket, and they play like, weekly or bi-weekly until they get to the final four, which is coming up this week in the Coupe de France. And it's kind of basically the Champions Cup for France. It's kind of like what Spain does for theirs. They do the same exact thing, but it's really cool. It's all done by like kind of the France Federation. Ligue Elite's involved as well too, this is going to be actually a really sick one because an N1 team, the Ruined Spiders, they're playing Rattel in the semifinal, and usually it's an all top division League Elite teams. So that's going to be a battle. The other semifinal is Villeneuve versus Verzone. And there's a lot of the one thing that both of these teams have is a lot of international talent, especially Verzone. Verzone's like, they got Italy, they got America, Czech, Hungary, and then you got and in Villanova, Czech, USA guys.
That's gonna be a sick matchup.
Yeah, and then obviously all the local France guys that are on each team too, that are the heart and soul of those teams. But that semifinal is going to be a battle. That second one, in particular.
So I saw that you threw up like in the blog the matchups. I mean, it's cool. We always talk about it too with the French league. They do such a good job at streaming everything. So again, another good weekend of like just watching roller and being able to watch it. And the schedule's all up there on the blog too, which is awesome. Yeah. But it's kind of like the NBA end season tournament, right? Isn't that kind of what it's kind of like? And we talked about that.
I think you could consider it. Yeah, you could consider it like that.
I think a little more pride and stuff goes into it, right? But the
event itself is like a lot more. I know Bauer France is involved heavily in it. I know they've been posting a lot about it. So just the event itself surrounding it is really big and special because it's like the champions of France kind of thing. Which is sick. So I think I think somebody's gonna be taking over the account. We haven't, I don't think we've decided who's taking over the account, but we did talk about it. So hopefully we can bring you some boots on the ground there. We'll sauce it around. So you know what? We're gonna put
someone on the spot.
No, let's do some predictions here. Let's put ourselves on the spot. We got some boys on each team, so we might get chirped by one of the guys. But let's do some predictions here. Rattel and the Spiders, Ruin. I think this is kind of given. Rattel, I mean, they got Merrick Loscott, they got Sigmund, Peter Skoland. They got firepower. They're nasty.
Yeah,
I don't know if this N1 team's going to be able to like keep up. But you never know. It's Cinderella story in any given any given day. Any given Sunday.
Hey, technically it could go to Sunday, but the one thing with like we talk about with the French league, it is a little more like chaotic in how it's played. It's not as controlled as like we play in our tournaments and stuff. So that's like the dying chance that they have, that it gets a little chaotic and they take advantage of a few bounces, a couple pucks fall their way. But I think Rattel obviously is the heavy favorite for a reason. And obviously that would be the easy pick there.
Yeah. Second game, you got Villanova versus Verzone. There's two matchups.
This is tough.
Yeah, but there's two matchups in particular that I'm really excited about. And it really depends if Robbie Baljeron is with Villeneuve. If Robbie Baljeron is with Villeneuve, that's a huge factor. Yeah. The guy can score. He can put the puck in the back of the net, and he's a big body.
He's big, yeah.
Yeah, and I know he plays with the France Pro team, the Joker. Is it the Joker?
Yeah, for Ice. Yeah.
Jokers, so if he's there with them, that's going to help a lot. Yeah. But then you also got to think they got, a lot of people has even said Carl Gablett's one of the best pure roller hockey players
overall. Yeah.
Overall. And then you got Martin Fiala, Otto goal scorer.
You got Koss, right?
And Austin Koss, that kid scores big goals too. Great player. Huge player too. Is he from So he's from SoCal, but he went to school in Minnesota
he went to St. Augustine Prep. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought because I see him like he was with a lot of the boys from Minnesota, like playing in tournaments. I think they went to March.
Yeah, they did Narch. I'm sure it was last year, but they had the baby blue and maroon, and that's like my old Liberty team. We used to
Tuggies.
have this. Yeah, the Tuggies, and they're sick.
Tuggies.
They are sick jerseys. I
They're
give them
nasty.
credit,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because like I was like a little bit butthurt first. I'm like, damn, these are our colors. Like we always had those
The
colors at
twins.
Liberty.
Were they like the
Yeah.
twins, right?
Well, our originally Phillies colors were baby blue and maroon, powder blue and maroon. So that's why we went with them. But
Like a twins kind of.
there you go. No, you're good now. Sorry, I thought you were about to cut out. But
No, you're good.
But yeah, but they did have like the cursive on the front. But in that matchup, I'm probably playing a little bit biased here just because I love Frankie and Joey. So I'm probably gonna go with the Preds, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah.
I've watched a bunch of their games, obviously, because Joey and Frankie, like, you know, from this area. Frankie's like FaceTiming me on Saturday nights, like, you know, a little bit banged up and stuff the other day. I wish they talked as much on the pod as they did when they FaceTime me drunk. But in all seriousness, I watch a bunch of their games and they do look really good. Like their past couple of games, they've looked really good.
No, they're nasty. They've been like double-digit scores too. They don't have a problem putting the puck in the net. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate. I'm gonna go on the other side then if you're gonna go that way. Villeneuve is very experienced. And they got Daniel Brabick in net. And I think both of those, that's a Czech goaltender, matchup.
That's the one thing I was thinking too. Brabick is like an advantage, especially on those small nets because he covers the lower part of the net so well.
He does. But it really just that team's very experienced just in the age too. You got Carl Gablett, which, captain of that team, running that team. You got Martin Fiala. He's played, I know he went and played in Italy for about 2 seasons, but he used to play on that team as well for numerous years. They have players that have played in big time moments, and it's not like Rizone doesn't. It's just these players are experienced in those kind of moments, which I think will help them and be a more advantage too.
I could literally see it go either way.
Yeah, I can too. And I'm not putting this on Robbie Baljeron, and I think they can win without him or with him. But with him, that puts
that's another piece.
Because you got a righty and a lefty. You got Fiala and Baljeron, heavy goal scorers, which is huge because now you got to counter the Verzone's offense and their defense. That just comes at you in waves, and it's like they're nasty.
They don't stop. Yeah, they don't stop. Yeah.
And it's all different. They all play a different style. So that's hard to adjust.
And I've been watching Joey because Joey, I feel like, and he's told us this, like he struggled when he first got over there because it's a different game. Joey likes the big rink work, and now he's got accustomed to it. So he's a huge piece on the other side. Jirac, he went over right away, and he just is tearing it up right now. His reach is ridiculous, and little toe drag release as you
the chippy,
did that was epic, dude. Yeah. Probably one of the best things we posted, but so that's going to be a battle. That's a 50-50 split, but I'm obviously just pulling for the boys, from back east. So we'll see how it goes. And we got Johnsko, Mr. Mohawk himself over there.
Dude, he'll Mohawk the whole rink,
fan of the pod. Yeah, he'll Mohawk the whole rink and have one. But he had his guy all the time. But yeah, it's going to be a battle.
Bro, he has his guy when he's in the defensive zone. His stick reach is, I'm pretty sure his reach is half like a quarter of the rink. Like it's
got crazy. Especially on those small rinks, right? So yeah, it's gonna be a battle. That's gonna be a sick one to watch. And like obviously for like people who are watching, haven't checked out the blog yet, like go right on the blog, look at the entire schedule. Rob's got it all up there. I guess it's in Colorado time that you put it up there, right?
No, dude, you not read?
I'm looking at it right now.
This guy is
out to lunch.
A broken fucking pinky, and here you can't remember shit.
Listen, I'm on a lot of ibuprofen, so leave me be for this one.
Right.
And I got this dog over here that my buddy left in my office, and he's trying to eat everything in sight. So it's tough. I'm battling the elements over here big time. Got youth practice out here. It's nuts.
Damn, dude. Kids are hitting.
There's a lot going on, dude. Yeah, I know.
All right, well, let's move it on to the interview. This interview it's back from summer, but it's something that we've kind of like just banked because we're going to eventually release it and the wheels were going to come out. So we kind of, we just we did some work in the future. So, but the Labeda whips, the new pink wheels that everybody has been seeing, are officially going to be coming out. And we talked to Rob over the summer about it and the technology behind it and what it is. And this weekend too, I was talking to Ruben on our team. Ruben
Yeah, he
Rum.
was using them.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and talking about the spacers on the outside too. These wheels move fast.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
fast and
they
they're beautiful
bust.
too. Like the pink is actually pretty sick, and like with the white lettering on the outside, should be pretty
Yep.
cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
Got anything else, Anth, or we'll send it over to the
Yeah, I mean, just that I've talked about the past few pods. Like I've been skating on them for since State Wars when I got the first set, and I know they put a lot of research into us and a lot of feedback from players, which is cool because I don't think I mean, people probably do that. I know Connex did it before when they were testing wheels out and stuff. They let the players skate on them for months and months and months before they release it. So it's cool that you're seeing these companies really care about their product, right? And put something out. It's going to be
dude.
quality.
It's
And
been like
and the
six
space.
months, which is like that's
Yeah,
a lot of
it's a lot
testing.
in R&D. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's been different color, and they've gone through testing with the colorways, like what colors they're going to make the wheels, and they put on the post that it's going to be pink and red are going to be the two colorways for that. So it's going to be cool to see the reds too, because I think red wheels are sick in general. But yeah, like the spacer on the outside's epic because it makes it roll so fast. Even if your bearings are a little bit shot, it does give it a little extra. And because your chassis doesn't push on this bearing itself, it pushes on the spacer. So yeah, it's a really cool technology. We'll obviously Rob will talk about the actual tech behind it in the interview. So yeah, I think it's about time to sauce it on over to Rob Chernima.
Send it over to the van. RDN van talk.
RDN Van Talk. Oh, dude, that would have been such a. All right, guys, we're back here, Roller Dad News with the RDN Roller Show. We have Rob Chernima of Labeda Hockey here. It's been going all over the internet. It's literally blown up our social media posts with the new Labeda wheel that came out. So we're going to be here talking to him about some of the technology behind the wheel. This episode is brought to you by Vanture Custom Vans. They gave us this beautiful van here that we're doing these interviews in, doing something a little different with like an RDN Road Show. So without further ado, Rob, what's up with the new wheel? Everyone's talking about it. It blew up at tours. Travis knows wearing them. I know you've been testing it for a while. So just give us some background on how this came about, the technology, whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah, we've been working on this guy for about 6 years. It's first wheel we've applied for a patent on.
Okay.
So we really feel the tech is new technology, and it gives us the opportunity to push the boundaries and the envelope in regards to technology. So the biggest thing behind the wheel is, if you imagine, your wheel with spacers in between it. Right. You got your bearings and a spacer in between the bearings. We've now taken the bearings and we've put them side by side. So you actually have a very thin center of the wheel.
Okay.
And that thin center now allows the wheel to have an earlier flex point. So It's flexing from the center of the wheel, which allows the wheel to flex earlier, but it actually has a powerful snapback. So it allows the wheel to have the injected urethane core. Everything you're pushing down into it, right, it's kind of pushing you back out of it.
So it allows, like a response technology.
100%, like a springboard. And you combine that with the spacer system, because now, since the bearings are packed side by side, right, you have no more center spacer.
Gotcha.
But now you need outer spacers to actually fill the void that you have in the axle, yeah, and assembly for the axles. So this allows us to now put the spacers on the outside, which now we have the spacers not creating, or I should say the frame not creating a pinch on the bearings.
Right.
So the spacers now meet not in the center of the wheel, but offset under the bearing race, which now gives us a stronger meeting point, but it also allows for a freer roll.
Gotcha.
So whenever you're rolling, you have no more restriction.
Yeah.
So the wheels just roll. There's no special bearings. There's no special anything going on here outside of the fact that the right, bearings are not getting pinched.
So yeah, and you see it a lot of times with roller bent chassis and things like that. I feel like this would help because it's not pressing on the bearing, because normally you have frame to bearing. This is frame to spacer on the outside. And we're going to do a little test, but we're going to spin the wheels and see how long they actually spin for. I got a fresh set of bearings in there, so they should go for a while. Was there any kind of what was the idea behind the color? Is this going to be the color moving forward? Are you going to offer them in other colors?
So this will be the color moving forward.
Awesome.
We'll launch with the pink. I don't see it changing for any immediate time.
Sure.
It will eventually, but we want everybody that gets on the floor with these, for people to know this is what they're
Whose wheel
rocking.
is it?
Yeah, this is what they're rocking right now.
Smart.
We feel the technology allows a player to be much faster on the floor without compromising any grip.
Right.
So you're getting the best bang for the buck in regards to rebound and energy and everything you're getting back as a skater.
Yeah, I mean, I used them for one game. The grippiness was, I told you, when I was in warm-ups, it took me a second to get used to them because they are super grippy. Now, I see holes on kind of the inside of the wheel. Is that just for the weight, just make them a lighter wheel? Because your skates have to be several ounces lighter now at this point.
Yeah, it's not lighter. It actually works into the grip points of the wheel. So it allows the different urethanes to work with the harder center core to allow the wheel still to grip in the certain situations when it does flex to grab.
Awesome.
So it's just everything that's built into the wheel is built in for something that actually allows the wheel to give you some type of performance benefit.
And you guys have been around for a while. You're innovators in the sport at this point. So this is some technology that is not out there. It's amazing. You talked about the patent earlier. So this is, I think, like I said, it blew up on the internet. So this is going to change, I think, the wheel game for a long time. Kind of switching things over to PIHA. You guys are 3-0 at this point. One last game against Mars Blade. How's the vibe in the locker room? What are the boys talking about? Everyone feeling good?
Yeah, everyone's feeling great. We came in this tournament, took a couple hits on some of our defensemen got injured over the last few weeks. And, our boys have responded and everyone's rallied around that too. So it's almost like, it's made us a tighter unit and, everyone's battling for each other. So
yeah. You're seeing guys like Mayhew, JT really stepping up their game at this point. They play a lot of minutes anyway, but you're really seeing them touching the puck a lot more, driving, getting the puck in the forward's hands, which is, one of the biggest benefits of PIHA. Going into the last game, anything special against Mars Blade? They're a team that plays, they play a physical game, nonetheless. A lot of ice hockey guys on the team, but you guys have played them over the years. Anything different, or are you just going to stick to your game and work the game?
I mean, it's a team we know well. They know us well. So, we've been battling over the years. So it's just, we need the win to grab the 1 seed.
Yep.
They need the win to position themselves for the best seeding possible. So it's going to be a battle, I'm sure. And
as every game is at PIHA.
Exactly. And this is what we expect when we come here. I mean, it's the best hockey for the summer.
Yep.
And every team's a battle, and it allows you to, at least show up here knowing that, if you're able to pull this one down, you're the best team in roller hockey.
Hey, listen, you guys are, the defending champs from last year with an epic win in that game. You guys look good this tournament, so I appreciate you hopping on, explaining technology. I'm a big geek with this kind of stuff. I like learning about it. And when I was talking to you and Scott upstairs, it was awesome just hearing about it and how much passion and knowledge you guys have with this wheel. So we appreciate that you guys are in the sport and you guys support us all the time.
No, I appreciate it, Ant. Thanks a
Thanks.
lot.
Have a good one.
Hey, thank you.
Perfect.
Awesome.